think I'll go outside for a while and smile. What's up, everyone? Happy Sunday, fun day, fun day. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, and messenger of God here on Super Bowl Sunday, fun day, fun day. What's up, everyone? Hey, who wins the Super Bowl? I told you, I saw a sign. You're gonna plan a battle strategy based on bird signs. Yup. I saw the sign. It was an eagle in the sky, which told me that the Eagles was gonna win. They're gonna win. And it makes sense too if you think about it. I didn't know that somebody said that, they met, I heard it on the radio. They were like, they met the Chiefs 2 years ago and lost. Well, naturally, they would come back bigger and better and win, right? Right. Get it right. Get it tight. And that's just logistics. You guys are looking too deep in it. You can't step back and see what God is doing. And it's the balance of things. You know what I mean? It's like, do you ever just ask the simplistic questions and listen to the answer? What's the logical answer to this? What is the universe doing? Not in the sense of how much power does a person have, but what does the universe feel is the right thing for this situation? And that should be back to the point of, when you, as we hear sirens, when you see the lights turn on behind your car, and all that fear of everything comes into mind as far as, you go straight down the pipe hole of getting raped in jail. It's like, wait a minute. Step out of your skin. Why has God pulled you over? What does he want you to learn? What is the consequence? Are you going to sit there in fear and wonder and manifest the worst things? Or are you going to see that God just did something? I don't know. They're coming for you. How's it going? I was listening to what was it? Sister some shit. And I got this huge closure statement from last night. I was going all nasty about, I don't want to go outside. If there was a visual of what my spirit was doing, it was like me holding on to, like a child where you try to get him to leave the fucking playground. It was like, I ain't fucking going nowhere. Like, I'm not going out there. You can't make me. Like a dog when you're trying to drag him into the vet or something. Like, that's what I was doing. I was like, bitch, I'm not going out there. I'm not fucking with these people. Is it individual? Is it a real thing? No. It's a bigger picture thing. It's a motion picture thing, dude, that you don't really understand. It's the start of something grand. Ultimately, I know who I am and I know what I came here to do, and I've been bullshitting about doing it. In the sense of, I don't let people know who I am and what I'm really here to do. I let them come to me. I let them find me. I don't fucking go out there telling people what I am and shit. God's been trying to do that since the moment he woke me up. Is try to fucking, proclaim myself as his prophet and as his daughter and all, as the goddess. He wants me to proclaim, okay, let's just go into it. I'm not a fucking prophet. I'm his goddess. I'm his daughter. He wants me to be known, right? Because that's down to the music. Those feelings inside of you are mine. They're divine feminine feelings. That's what he made me. That's me. All those feelings, bro, that's all of me. All that chaos. He put it into one creation, which was me. Right? So now that this creation, this energy has been released in everyone, there needs a leader to this, to this creation. And that's where I go back to, the divine feminine awakening is your heart's awakening. Now you walk in your heart space. I'm here to catch you through the darkness of it so that you can get into the light of it, which they say is the dark night of the soul, right? And that's the end times, the walk through the end times, right? So in essence, that's what my whole creation was. As soon as he created me, I went into the darkness of those feelings way before I ever saw the light. And it's been a whole mastery, and that's why I'm ascending master, because I've managed to balance the light and the dark in many lifetimes, and now it's the ultimate lifetime where I lead others through their darkness. Yes, I know it. And it's this whole big-ass story, and I've known it forever, that, there'll be books, and, that's why I've had to document this whole thing. It's like, it's a real-ass deal. I'm like, yeah, okay, one day. And, I'm not pushing it, because it's like, look at what happened to Marsha. Look at what happens to celebrities once they're all over you. And they're like, once they really realize, and that's what I said going back to the beginning. As soon as I introduce myself to people, you know what I mean? It starts it. It's like, I don't lie. I'm telling you exactly that I'm a fucking Holy Spirit, bro. As soon as I walk up, I've got to face you guys' fucking rejection of this fucking reality. And you think I'm crazy. Then I gotta sit here and, you know what I mean? I don't even want to prove myself to you, which I don't. God does that. I don't give a fuck. And that's the witnessing and all of this shit where I tell you and then he comes in and shows you. We work together on this bullshit. Anyways, going back to it, it's like, you know, these are the baby steps of the big steps, and it's like I can only hide for so long. You know what I mean? And that's Lilith, always hiding in the tree, always hiding. You know what I mean? That's it. It's like I have all the power and all of the glory and everything, and I just hide, manipulating and laughing at people, not, you know what I mean? Not leading them, not doing the right thing. You know what I mean? And that's where I said too in my post last night, you forget, I'm Lilith. Most of all, in this life, I have to elevate this nasty, dirty being into, you know, my loving light self that I've done in many lifetimes. But this is my first creation of myself, and that's why it's utterly amazing to come and be the child of God with God's children and do it with them. Do you know what I mean? As one. It's kind of a whatever. So the point is it's like I'm not avoiding a particular group. I'm avoiding my calling. Because it starts with the small groups. It's only a matter of time before the world finds out who I am and what I'm here to do, and then I'm responsible as the goddess again. I become a goddess again. You know what I mean? And with great power comes so much responsibility, because then I have to, you know what I mean? I do it from here in little ways, and I've been doing it for a long time, is, you know, taking on the patriarchies and setting the truth free, and, you know what I mean, really standing up for the oppressed and teaching everybody the ancient ways and shit, but I'll be responsible for his children, which is the world. I'm just, you know what I mean? I try not to, that's what I put in the post. It's like, I don't care. He cares. He cares. And you know what I mean? And that's why I said it. It's like the whole universe knows that he's given me this job and they're all here. You know what I mean? That's why I channel for all of them, as they tell you, as they're walking me through my job, and so I can walk you through the job. Because even though I knew everything before I got here, Lilith doesn't know. Lilith doesn't know. Isis knows. Morgan knows. Hecate knows. Lilith doesn't know. Because she never experienced it. It's her first time experiencing life on Earth. And the bigger picture, and walking in those powers of being responsible for his, you know what I mean, to do all of this. Lilith rebelled. She didn't want nothing to do with it. She just wanted to use her powers to fuck with people and shit. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of shit. In the sense of, you know, it's like my willingness. Will you be, and that's what it was, is that's what he created me for, is Lilith. You know what I mean? I want you to be, you know what I mean, my priestess, my princess, my queen, my empress of these people. Bear my children and walk them through the light. Because, you know what I mean? But that wasn't really fully the story. I mean, it was the storyline, but it wasn't what was, you know, there was a lot of left turns before we got back here. We had to take a lot of, it took a lot of tries. And that's why you have so many incarnations. So you can master so many parts of life, so you can come back and be the whole aspect of yourself in one life and finish off everything that you weren't able to accomplish in your previous lives. And that's where I go through it, but I have to go through it, you know what I mean, ultimately. And that's what I talk about, the shape-shifting of all of my incarnations, you know what I mean? There's this particular, this Sunday, I could go through 3 events that could be related to 3 altered realities that happened, you know what I mean? Meaning I could have an incident that I didn't overcome as Isis. I can have an incident that I didn't overcome as Medusa. I can have an incident that's related to Sarah Dwin. They're all played out right here, and I'll shift into my energy, and you know what I mean? That's how you're clearing out your karma, meaning, you know what I mean? You didn't overcome this, so you have to overcome it in this life. So mostly, a lot of it is the Lilith and overcoming feelings. Lilith was, bound to her dark feelings. And that's where home is to me. I'm like, I want to just watch you and laugh at your fucking face. And then your heart turns on like the Grinch, and you're like, oh my God, it hurts so bad. Look at those kids. Oh my God, is that a puppy? And I teach you how to do that. And that's why it's so painful for me and my twin flame Marshall. Like, his heart's turning on it. It hurts so bad. Oh my God, it's so terrible. I hate this thing. Ultimately, so it's like, these pushes are not, you think I'm going to go out and make a couple friends, bro. I'm going to have to fucking stand in there's a whole spotlight out there that's trying to find me, bro. And I keep hiding in dark spaces. It's trying to be like, no, not yet. Because once you turn the light on, turn on the lights, they're looking for me. Once they find out that I'm here, bro, I'll become a whole fucking lab rat to the world. Like, yeah, the government is gonna, they'll have their ways and stuff, and that's why we support their ways, and, all the way, whatever you say. Everybody, and that's it. It's like, you have no idea. Then there's the religions, then there's the actual people. We the people. Which people? That's why they put me in America, dude. That's why. When I woke up, I was like, what the fuck am I doing in America? It makes perfect sense now. This is the fucking where it all goes down, dude. You ain't never been to the dirty before. Oh gosh. Anyways, so going back to it, it's like, I'm not running from a man. I'm running from way more than just a man. Way more than mankind. It's like, it's a calling, you know what I mean? And that's Arthur and the sword and the stone. It's like, only I have the power and everything, you know what I mean? It's all aligned, and it's like, I just have to walk in it. And instead I'd be like fucking I'd be creep walking and shit. Acting like my legs don't work. Be dancing around motherfuckers. Okay, so it said it in the cards, and I'm just, these are my confessions, and that's it. It's like, when are you going to step up and, step out? Not today. And that's really it. It's like, that people are going to love you, and that you're important to people. Being around people is important to you, but when are you going to step up and act in that role, And that's really what it is. It's like, people love me. There's nothing, like, they're not going to be mean to me. I wish you would, bitch. But there's no reason for them to be rejectful or mean. And they catch that real quick, because I'm just, that's what I said. When I go out, I'm like, there's no reason to not like me. And that's the thing, is like, everybody likes me till you don't. And then you realize there's something wrong with you, because there's nothing, I'm just being me. And you're being mean. Anyways, going back to it. So it's just like that. It's like, owning a crowd and all that. I have all this. It's really the truth. Once people find out, and that's why I didn't push it. I don't push it. It's because, like, once it happens, you can't go back. And so I just, take my very powerful self and just walk around with an invisibility cloak, saying I'm not gonna do God's work. I mean, I do it, but in the sense of, He wants that. If more people heard my teachings, more people would awaken and heal. But in essence, that puts me in the spotlight, you know what I mean? So all this time I've been trying to put it on someone else that's already used to the spotlight. All of my freaking celebrities, and I'm like, if you could just do this, you could reach, you got like 4 million people, God will be happy with that. You got 8 million, we put all of you guys together, you could do this. Let me just heal you guys, and you can heal the world. But it didn't work. It didn't work. In the sense of, they're no ready to do what I'm doing. They're just as captivated, but that's where it is the little bits, you know what I mean? Taking those steps from going into the Bible Belt and proclaiming His word, to going to Las Vegas, to doing the fucking, you know what I mean, to doing the stadium, to, everywhere I go and just being me and stuff. It's like he's preparing me for that particular role. And so it's like, again, I see the bigger picture, and it's like, are you ready to step into it? Like, again, why karaoke? So I can get used to the mic again, get used to talking, you know what I mean, get used to singing and stuff like that. Why go outside? Get used to being around people, get used to the spotlight. And that's what this was all about this weekend. And I'm like, I know, and there goes back to that fucking Star Wars. I know what I have to do. I just don't know if I have the strength to do it. Meaning it's going to be done no matter what. And that goes back to, you can't run from your destiny. You know what I mean? What's meant for you is going to find you. And it's not even, like, you can't even delay it. Because even though it looks like I'm not doing it, they're still preparing me for what is going to be. You can't fully see it, but it's happening. Little by little by little, bro. And if you haven't noticed, my teachings have gotten tighter. Everything has gotten better. And it's like, before you know it, it's like, starting a priesthood, it's like, I see that I'm going to have a church. I'm going to get my RV. I'm going to do all this stuff. And before you know it, it's like, it's fucking time. You're like, wait, I wasn't ready. I fucking wasn't ready, bitch. The fuck you mean you wasn't ready? And that's what I was laughing about last night. They're like, what do you mean you're not ready? You've been doing this for 2 years. You're not ready to go out and be sexy and get some attention? No, not yet. Why? Because just like I said, I've made this my home. I've made being outside of the matrix just like they wanted. And it's no sooner than you do what they want more of you. You're like, it's not something you can't do. It's just you've made this your comfortability, and now they want you to do something that is uncomfortable. Only for your greater good, for your expansion, for, you know what I mean? It's your next step of evolution, is pushing yourself to your next limits. And that's why I said, it's Saturday, and you're pushing my limits. Yeah, on a Saturn. And then it said that, Venus and some shit and all of this shit, and that's where it is. And all of the planets are pushing us for self-love, to love ourselves enough to give ourselves chances that the universe has aligned for us. Now, as you can see, I can't stop it. That's why I said the planets are going to make me get out there and do these things. I am a servant to God and, His purpose. But ultimately, I was living in a fantasy of, I don't have to be a goddess this this life. In the aspect, I kept thinking, I'm not going to step into that spotlight. And then they brought the music, and the music comes with spotlight. And then they realized that the music is only to the message, and the big message is what I already do. And I realized the spotlight was coming too fast. And I was like, oh. It's nothing I can't do within a fucking weekend, bro. Seriously. As far as the music and shit and all of this shit, it's just like, are you ready? And that's where I said, I'm not ready. But going back to Kobe and God and your ancestors, they say when you're ready. Fear, that's what it was all talking about, the rat and fear. You're afraid. What am I afraid of? I guess the peace I have now. As chaotic as it is, I've learned to find peace in it. I feel like taking on people will take away my peace. Being distracted with people takes away my peace. Because, like, when I love some, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I was talking about, is being overextending. And, like, if I have a man, I'm going to love my man. Because I never had one, so I'm going to love him like crazy. But, you know what I mean? At the same time, is that going to take away from other parts of my life? Because I got this new toy. Friends, stuff like that. I have I get, like, I know that people are so temporary that it's like, I don't really enjoy the detachment. I'm okay with it and I understand it, but, like, giving up people all the time, making great connections only to lose them is like, I don't really enjoy ripping off fucking, you know what I mean, waxing hair. You know what I mean? It's the best way I can describe it. It's like you're ripping off hair off my arms. Like, I can live with this, but it's not comfortable doing this all the time. Just all the temporary things of the Matrix. It's very temporary, is one thing. And, going back to being the chosen one and all that, it's like, how am I going to lead? I was like, where are these people? They're wondering where I am. They need to know that it's safe to stand up and stand out. They can't be them because of the persecution of you guys. So it's like, it's a two-edged sword. It's like, you know what I mean? They're waiting on me. The whole universe is waiting on me. Truthfully. It's really the truth. I didn't need anybody to help me do God's work. I wanted everyone to be part of God's work. But I kept trying to put it on someone else. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's where I'm at. It hit me. I got to get ready and go take care of my car and get ready for a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Obviously, Mr. Rogers will be there. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I like that guy. He's cool. He's always telling me to do laundry, but we're good there. I've done all my house bitch shit. I done Cinderella the shit out of shit, so it's time to move on to some other shit. But that came to me, and that's my story. But what is yours? What are you holding yourself back from? Like, you know for sure you got the skills. God's been training you for this. You are going to be so great at it, but you are just like, ugh. Oh, man. And that point is like, I know I have the strength, or I know what I got to do. I just don't know if I have the strength. You might not yet, but there are 5 planets coming in at the end of this month, around the 25th, that's going to push us. It's going to give us the strength. God who gives us strength. He's using the energies of these planets, you know what I mean, to push us into our own greatnesses. You might not have a fucked up calling like mine, but he's going to put you in a place of authority, power, and leadership based on nothing more than your own life experiences. He wants you to be a tool in his army, where you and your life is an expression of his divine works, where you can stand up and say, this is what God did to me, and this is how he made me, and I'm going to use this to mold others to greatness. It's not necessarily about molding yourself. He molds you. The more you put into the world, the more he'll put into you. Do you know what I mean? He's molding you. You can't really mold yourself. And that's kind of, with children too, you'll learn that. It's like you can't really force them, you can only mold them a little bit. And that's the thing too, is being a great leader, being an inspirer, being, you know what I mean, a light worker. It's like you're trying to help people. The more that you're out there helping people, you're being an expression of Christ himself. And in that, God's, you know what I mean, giving you more to help others. And in doing that, I promise you, that's what I mean about it. Puts you in a place of leadership, authority, you know what I mean, inspiration. You're a tool to his love and his abilities when you're out there just giving from your heart. And that's where this whole ego thing gets in the way. It's like, I really want to, but I don't want to. Because why? Because I kind of get attached to people and I want a certain outcome, and there's a lot of me that gets in the way of just being freely, open and Jesus-like. That's just coming to terms with it and trying to take a lot more of you off and put more, more Jesus on. In the sense of, you don't wear him. You can't build clothes that are Christ-like. Meaning, you walk in an understanding of how he would have, what would Jesus do? How would Jesus handle this? Damn, Jesus, help me, bro, because I'm going to punch this person in the face. It's like, no. Let's pray about this. What? Talk to God. He'll tell you what to do. He's going to tell you to walk away. Damn, you guys are some punk asses. All right, I'll do it your way. Jesus is the way. Jesus is his way. Jesus is the way. Jesus is... And then you just become, you know what I mean? You walk that way, dude. Walk that way, and everything will be okay. In the sense of, you're not walking... If you don't know Jesus and you're not walking like Jesus, that don't mean that Jesus ain't walking with you. You just don't know how, how he walks. Or maybe how he talks. Anyways, going back to it. He wants us to elevate, to take our lives to the next challenge and tribulation, but this time to do it in a spiritual service to others, but to ourselves. Do you know what I mean? To really put ourselves out there as tools and, you know what I mean, as messengers and as helpful hands and minds and mouths. Some people, again, some of you are very, you have the craftsmanship. That's part of me. That's part of an energy in me. It's, I say it's a lot of my masculine, but if you go back to the bridge, I'm not just wordsmith. I was a craftsmith, you know what I mean? A blacksmith, all of that, you know what I mean? Forging weapons and all of that. I was always able to create great things. So those that can create with their hands, where they see the vision in their mind and they can create it in the real world, you guys have been inspired to make and do great things that will help others, even if it's just culinary, clothes, especially culinary right now, as the famine is approaching us. Those that know the agriculture, this is your time to fucking pull out the garden, bro. So you have a huge backyard and you can start making food for not just yourself, but everybody else. The shit is coming. If you don't believe it's coming, look at the weather. The weather controls the growth of the plants. The weather is out of control, so the plants won't be able to grow in control. And that's it too, is like, do you guys know how we can manipulate this? Because that's another thing too, is we've been learning hydroponics, we've been learning, all of this stuff. We have all this technology to learn how to keep ourselves afloat during these times. But ultimately, yeah, bro, that shit is for real, and I'm supposed to help lead you, but you also are leaders in your own ways that have been passed down by traditions. You know what I mean? Down to welders, down to people that know engineering of any types. You know what I mean? That's just spectacular, because we're going to have to learn how to build new ways of life. You know what I mean? We're not going to be able to be dependent on the matrix like that. And that gives you an ability to stand out and stand up and teach others, and make other people's lives bountiful is going to make your life bountiful. I promise you that. And for me, mine is the higher knowledge, the acceptance, the actual connection with God that others do not have, and the universe, that, that higher knowing. And that's what I'm supposed to share with the world. But it's huge. Some of you can stay in a really comfortable field of study where you'll meet plenty of people that are there. I'm going to have to go in and take on all the lies. Everything that's been misinterpreted over the span of all lifetimes. That's what he wants me to do, is go fight darkness with truth. All of it. All the things that people lie about that keep people misbelieving and locked in, their minds. He wants me to take on the world and lead the world into a new world. I'm like, dang, me? And I saw that long time ago. Again, going back to that, it's like, do you remember what I told you up on that mountain? I'm like, yeah, I saw it. Well, we're getting ready. No, I'm not ready. We're getting ready. You can't deny the greatness that God has made you. You have to start waking up to what it is and how you are great, just how he made you. And you don't have to be someone else to be great, but the greatness is already in you. You just have to let it out. Let people see what you're great at, instead of trying to be someone else that's already, that's not even great at what they're doing. That goes back to my rappers. Okay. So if I put all of you in a room, are we really going to vote on who's better than who? You all, all of my performers. Are we really, is that where we're at right now? We're going to see if Marshall can rap better than Kanye, better than Logic, better than Royce, that Russ doesn't have a voice and Ali isn't unbelievably heard in this conversation. Is that what we're playing? Bruno Mars can't smash you, all three of you. There's nothing to compete. You all have great voices to be heard. You all have great gifts that God has given you, but you're all wasting your gifts talking about the same shit, trying to get the same fucking prize, when the whole world is at your fingertips. We all had the same bunk-ass experiences, the same trials and tribulations. You all talk about how you feel about them. How do we overcome them is what we're supposed to be talking about in our own frequency. If that's all you can do is talk about it, then talk about the greatness that has come from it. Do you know what I mean? And that's it. Some of us are limited to the words. I'm seeing Pac, he's like, I can't play basketball, but I can act. I can show my emotions. I can express myself in a way that others cannot. You know what I mean? Kobe made music, but he also was an athlete. He knew how to use his body in ways that, I don't know, nobody who can do it like nobody, I guess. I never really watched him in movement, only when he's showing me all this bullshit. But ultimately, it's like God gave you something so that you could be a huge impact in the world, and that's it. It's like Kobe played basketball, but that's not why his spirit lives on. It's not the moves that he made. It's his spirit, it's his words, it's his inspiration. That was just his platform. You know what I mean? That's going back to Muhammad Ali. That's going back to all of them, our great presidents and leaders. They were put in this place, it's like Trump really isn't, he's a fucking wiener as fuck. Super wiener. But his power is his ability to speak. He has no power. You know, that goes back to fucking Hitler. Do you really think? I mean, seriously, are you scared of this fucking wiener? Going back to, what was his name? Napoleon. These wiener-ass guys. You know, Scary Larry. I was so scared of him in the spirit, but then I realized this is like a 78-year-old man. If you got off this porch right now and ran at his car, you could punch this dude in his face and it's game over. You know what I mean? Am I scared of your flesh? Or, you know what I mean? Or something. What are we scared of here? Here comes Marshall. I'm not afraid. I thought that was funny. My daughter started singing that last night. It's not. Everything aligns. But going back to it is, you guys, I get it. We're afraid to be what God has made us and show people what we are. And, you know, you're not me. You're not a whole freak. Are you? I literally am what I say I am. I am what? Shut up, Marshall. Not right now. Unless you want to be there, like, you know, opening for my show. Who's opening now? I love you. Super funny. Role reversals. But in the sense of, you're not me. But if I can stand up and be me, then you can stand up and be fucking you. You're not out here telling people that you're a whole fucking Holy Spirit, bro. That you travel the astral worlds. That you're fucking talk to dead people. That you're all this. You're not that. But you could be. But in the sense of, but you could be. Who wants to be that? Okay, and that's what I was saying last night. I was like, where are all these other freaky people that they say are alive? Where are these people? They wrote books. There's these people that say that, you know what I mean, they had awakenings and spirits and entities and gods and deities came to them and woke them up and told them to write their scripts, which is Hermes, which is, you know what I mean, Gabriel, which is exactly what they said, the scrolls. Who told them to write that shit down? Going back to fucking, you know, Paul. God said, write this down and send this message out. We're messengers of God, fuckhead. So in the sense of, like, you don't have to come out telling people you're all that, but you could come out and tell people you're something and be okay in that something and be proud of that something and prove that you really are that something. In the sense of, I am all those fucking shitty ass things I tell you, but I'm more than that. That's just what you call me in the flesh. A spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, light worker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, and messenger of God. Can I just say a messenger of God? No, because it dumbs it down. I do all that too. And then there's probably more. But I have to tell you what I am right away. And that's where it goes back to yesterday. Dude, let's just start with the introduction. How open are you to my introduction of God introducing me to you? Oh, great. You're who and what? And you're married? And you're this and that? And you're like every other person in this matrix? Oh, great. Meet to nice you. Are you great? And that's it. It's like, I am the gift to humanity. How humans accept me is supposed to be a gift. It's actually a curse. And that goes back to, look at how you treated Jesus. You guys are such assholes. It's like how you treated fucking Holy Spirits before me. You ain't treating me like that. I will fucking light your ass on fire. And that's why they sent her. She'll handle them quite well. But in the sense of, you know, he wants you to be you. You're not me, but imagine how I feel too. He's like, you know, when I started this, dude, he's like, you know, he sent me to Oklahoma. I didn't want nobody to know what I was. Before I left there, I had business cards. I was about to do a launch. I was about to start a spiritual community, pass out food and clothing. I was ready to start a church. I said, nah, bitch, we're out of here. Retreat. I had a lot going on there. All right. And he took me to Las Vegas, and I walked down all the fucking strip. You know what I mean? Ready to be me. Sure of it. Sure that they would accept me, and I could do this here. This was the place I could do it. I could finally be me here. No, bitch. You need a special license for that shit. What is it? The psychic arts. Bro, what? What are you talking about? There's nobody like me. What are you talking about? Anyways, and that's what it is. It's like, there's nobody like you. And there's not a special place for you. You just have to take up room. You have to make your place known. Who you are, what your boundaries are, what you're here to do. You know what I mean? And just leave it at that. And that's really, oh, look at the little dog. It's a miniature little pincher. Oh my God, I haven't seen one of those in years. That little guy. Oh my god. He's so cute. Is that a puppy? So funny. Anyways, yeah, bro, there's not a place for us. We make our place. We make footsteps. There's not a place, and that's where I spend a lot of time. Is like, where am I supposed to go? Where is that place? And that's what Mother Earth is trying to say. You live here too. We're creating a place for you and people like you. You need to go out there and make yourself known. You know what I mean? Make it known that there is, you know what I mean, a place for people like you. Where's that? Outside. We'd be outside. Ultimately. So I just wanted to point that out. And on a Sunday, that is the message of God, is get ready. He wants you to step into your place of power that he has made for you. And though you don't see it as a powerful place, and you see it as a condemning place where people are not going to respect you and understand you, they're going to have the utmost respect, and they're going to learn to respect you. They'll find understanding along the way and respect, and with that comes love. Is the truth. You know what I mean? People are afraid of me because they don't know what someone like me is. But they're going to learn about me. They're going to learn, just like you all have, one by one. Each of you came to my page and learned about me. You have fearful thoughts, but you have respect. You have understanding. A lot of you have much love because you're not leaving. You know what I mean? It took you time, but you were willing to have acceptance. People need time to learn, you know, and some of them are not. I've lost a lot of people around the way. They're like, she's too much. She's full of shit. She's this. She's that. Fine. That's what your brain says. Go somewhere else and think somewhere else. You know what I mean? In the sense of, I'm trying to show you a higher understanding of not just what I am, what God is, what the world is, and what you are. And he wants me to show that to everyone as, you know, his high priestess. But he also wants you to show that to other people. What you are, you know what I mean? What he has made you. And how he has made you, and how there are others like you, and he wants you to lead them. Each of us have our gifts. You know what I mean? I'm seeing that talk with Perseus and Achilles. We play with the gifts that God has given us. You know, and the quicker you think you've mastered one of your gifts, before you know it, you have more. You're given more. As soon as you get good at something, they want you to get good at something else and teach someone else. That's the evolution. Is I'm going to learn how to be the best at this, and I'm going to teach it to others, and then I'm going to learn more shit. And that's, you know, the evolution. So hey, that's our message today. I might do a reading. I don't know yet. I thought about it. I'm going to be stuck there for like an hour and a half, but I could literally just trance out for an hour and a half too. So I'm not sure. I might do a reading. I might not. I'll catch up with you guys at the end of the day, though. Have a good day. Happy Sunday Fun Day. Laters.